Good morning traders and welcome to this week's live trading. Apologies again, this is not Thursday, it is actually Friday the 11th of August. Reason being, yesterday was just completely mad, didn't really get to do anything. I was actually looking at a potential new place to live, so I just didn't really get to do anything at all. So I thought I would do the live trading video today. Apologies for not having one last week. I did get a little bit of time last week, but again, no trades, so I instead devoted that time to finishing off the risk management video, which is now up. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to that in the description below, check it out. So on to today's live trading. I've marked in the bands that I'm looking to trade from. As you can see, we're currently between these two fairly narrow ones. This week's been a bit of a funny one actually. I don't know why this isn't loading in the price here, but it basically just trundled down between these 2 points. But price has come off quite a lot over the last couple of days, and then the previous 2 days before that we got not much movement. I mean, Monday was abysmal really. So yeah, it's been a funny old week. So if I skip back to today, so like I say, we're currently between these narrow two bands. Both are really quite good for trades, you know, both long and short. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we're down into some lows now. These might be better displayed on the daily chart, but we're just currently hovering around what has been a sticking point for the last sort of month or so really. So it'd be interesting to see how price reacts down here. As you can see, we're 5 minutes to the open now. We're getting a bit of buying coming. So there's no standout trades that I'm looking for this morning. Nothing really that's on my radar. I'll just wait to see, as usual, how price reacts to these bands as and when it reaches them. So we'll wait for the open and then I'll update you further when we start getting some signals. Okay, so we're 10:30 now. We've had this push down and we've just come into this band down here. I'm going to give this long trade a go. High of, so we want to be in at 5.5 in there. That's going to have triggered quite quickly. Okay, so we're in. So target wise, obviously we're looking up towards this band up here. Now bounce wise, I don't know how much of a bounce we're going to get. As far as sticking points for this trade, there's obviously sort of this area here, and then moving higher, you can see that price has struggled a little bit here, and obviously a little bit just up here. So I think if we get up here and through this area, we are safe to attack the band above. I think it's quite a distance to the band above, to be honest. Yeah, you're looking up at 30 points, which at the start of this week I didn't think I would be targeting. But we'll see how price moves really. I think a sensible place to take profits would probably be here. But it depends how price moves. If it's quite bullish and decisive, then maybe we'll hold on a little bit longer. But we'll see how it moves. I mean, it's had a good move down, but it has been somewhat laboured. It's taken it a good few hours. It's held down here for a while and not really been able to push any further lower as it stands, obviously. So it'd be interesting to see how far it can push up. Obviously, this move is against sort of the trend at the moment. We've had a huge move down over the last couple of days. So I'm not going to be like blindly holding this, expecting it to run for miles. I am aware it is against the trend, so we'll keep our eyes peeled and see how this one gets on. Okay, Okay, so we're just coming up to the close of this candle. It's about 20 past 11. Just looking at the hourly chart, and basically where I'm looking for potential targets, and I think really the best place to take profit would be just below this mini area here, where it's just bounced previously as it's come down. The reason for that being, if it takes its time, it's going to catch up with the hourly 8 EMA, which is moving down obviously as time progresses, and it's sort of it's dynamic resistance really for price. So although it might move through that 8 moving average initially, there is more chance of it having a bounce from there, and rather than sit through the bounce, I would rather just take profit before that happened, given the amount of downward momentum that we've seen today and over the last couple of days. So I think a sensible place to take profits would be just here, just before these 2 pins. So if we can get a spike up into there, that would be brilliant. And I think really it should want, if it's going to do that, it should want to do that rather soon. It's obviously tested the 8 moving average quite a bit now. It's managing to hold above it for now. I would like to see it press up a little bit more and obviously just get to our profit target, but we're about halfway there at the moment. So we'll see if it can do so. Okay, so we're a bit further on now. We're coming up to 11:45, and I think we've let this have a fair crack at trying to get up to the area that we're looking at. I'm just going to bring my stop right up to break even. It's not letting me at the moment, but that's where my stop will be going. If it comes down to here, I'm not interested now. It's really, it's attacked this area once, twice, 3, 4 times, and it's failed every time. So if it's going to come down and come back to where I entered the trade and back down to this band, then I'm happy to get out of the trade at break even and maybe look for another entry a little bit later on, rather than try and stick through this when it's potentially going to have another leg down. You can see it's really sort of struggled with where this pin's come in here, which I didn't think it would have too much trouble with, to be honest. These two areas here I thought would be bigger sticking points than the one it's actually struggled at there. So as you can see, it's coming back down. So if it does come down to break even, I'm just going to close this out. If it does it, it's obviously stalling now, but that's basically what will happen. So if you see the trade disappear, that's what's happened, and we will look to possibly reposition a bit later on this afternoon if it does give us a signal. Okay, so we're about half an hour later now, and you can see that price did fall off right below this low. It literally broke that low and it's popped straight back up, broke the 8 EMA, and we've had this engulfing candle just here. So I am inclined to give this trade another go. So we'll be in at 9. And again, we can see where the price has struggled. Struggled big time there in the last trade. And I would be expecting now either a test of this level, or the hourly 8 EMA is at 18 currently. So that lines up quite nicely with these wicks just here. So I won't be taking profit here at the first point of interest. This second one potentially, it depends how it reacts there. But definitely I would be, if price did get up to this point here, I would be out. It would need to spike through the hourly 8 EMA to get to this level, but currently that is where That is the max I will be looking at. So let's see if this trade triggers, and if it does, let's see how this one gets on. Okay, so we're just coming up to 1:30. We finally had this move up that we were looking for, so I'm going to just put the take profit level just under here where it was before. And if we can get a move up to there, then this trade will be completed. So we'll keep watching and see what happens. Okay, so the trade is finished now. We've just gone 2 o'clock. I was just on a call at the time, so I couldn't talk over the trade finishing. But as you can see, price sort of toyed with the level, fell away a little bit, and then obviously shot right up to it. And as you can see now, it has blasted past it. So we might have been okay. Well, we would have been okay to target this little area above, if not the entire band above. But I was happy with the take profit that we set. It was a sensible one to take. If I bring the hourly chart across, you can see that the 8 EMA here was not tested as this was moving up, so the probability of getting a reaction at this 8 EMA is reasonably high. So I didn't want to have to sit through a possible pullback and then a move up to this, which is why I targeted where I targeted. Obviously sometimes, and this is one of the times, it's not even reacted at that 8 AMA, it's just blasted through it. But a decent trade in the end. We had, I think, about a break even, if not -1 point stop out earlier, and then obviously I think it was 10 or 11 points there. So we finished about 10 points up for the day. So a decent trade in the end. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. I try to do these videos every week, and I'll see you next time.